You, my friend, are in luck today. It is a special day here at Daddy's Working Podcast. Why? Because I'm going to share with you the biggest thing that keeps men broke. And it's not lack of knowledge. It's not lack of opportunity. It's certainly not lack of ability. But the best way for me to share this with you is with a story. And it's a tale of two men who I spoke with, who applied to work with me, and their different paths. All right? So you guys know that, or maybe you don't, and this probably has cost me a lot of money. I would estimate that this has at least cost me $100,000, if not more. But I joke about it in my emails, I joke about it on the podcast and in social media, where I say I talk more people out of podcasting than into it. People come to me with crazy ideas. They think that a podcast is going to be a business. A podcast is going to be a band-aid to save their business. A podcast is going to save them, and most times it won't. And when I see that, I tell them, hey, I don't think this is a good idea. There are other things you should be doing. Some people thank me for it. Some people get pissed. I don't care. I don't care because that, to me, is the right thing to do. I'm a man of integrity, and I want to make sure that when I work with you, that I can get you a multiplier on your investment. So I don't think I can get you a multiplier on your investment. I don't think it's the right time for us to work together, and that's that. I want this to be win-win. So, like I said, I talk more people out of podcasting than into it. And up until recently, I didn't really have another offer because I was all in on the whole agency or podcast agency. Got serious about that a few years ago, and that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Go down that line, work with those people that I knew I could help with the podcast. But more recently, I've been getting hit up by especially brick and mortar businesses, and some of them, yeah, podcasts will work. Some of them, it won't. And I was trying to figure out, because some of these brick and mortar guys, I like them. I think they're running cool businesses, they're doing cool things, and there are tweaks that can be made. And this is one of the reasons why I love brick and mortar businesses, because you don't need to make too many big changes. You pull one lever, two levers, and you're already in a new stratosphere. And I experienced this in my own business when I was playing around with internet marketing and trying to sell info products online. And my friend Darren, who was on the show not too long ago, Making Agents Rich, was a show we did together back in 2013. He told me, hey dude, quit being dumb. Use them skills you got there on your real estate business. And when I did that, when I added my internet marketing and my marketing and copywriting strategy and skills to that real estate business, we turned it around. We began to flourish, and we're still flourishing now all these years later with the things that I built back then. And that's why I love brick and mortar businesses, because most of them are not good marketers. Most of them are good at delivering whatever it is that they deliver, and they have a lot of blind spots. And when I get in there, I can see those blind spots, pull a lever or two, and bang, bang, bang. We're multiplying. We're getting returns. We're getting ROI. And so for the longest time, I just talked those businesses out of the idea of podcasting because I thought it wasn't a good idea. And I sent them on their way. Maybe gave them an idea of a book or two they could read and let them go. And more of those guys are coming to talk to me. And I'm thinking, gosh, I would really like to work with some of these guys because they're cool, they're doing good things, and I know I can get them an ROI. So I had this, the tale of two guys. I don't know if I set that up yet, but I'm going to tell you a story of two guys to illustrate this point of what keeps most people broke, sad, and stuck. So two guys. One guy came to me, landscaping business. Says, I'm trying to build my brand up, trying to stand out from all the other landscapers. I want better positioning, and I believe a podcast will help me do that. I heard him. I liked the guy, so I wanted to work with him. Cool guy, met him at a mastermind. And I said, well, let's explore this. Let's talk. Let's see if there's a way that we could put a podcast into what you're doing. And really, after interviewing him and talking with him and learning more about his business, I really thought, I don't know. I don't see how we could use a podcast for this particular business. And I didn't want to let this guy go because I liked him and I wanted to help him. And I told him on the phone, I said, look, I got a crazy idea. Totally, this just came to me and I want to run it by you because I think this is going to be huge for you. And he's like, okay, I'm listening. What's up? What do you got? I said, I'd like you to come down here to Orlando, downtown Orlando, podcast factory headquarters. I want to work with you for a day on your business, on your marketing, on your before, during, and after units of your business. Because from what I have heard from you, you want better positioning and you want a business that's more dependable, repeatable. And a podcast's not going to do that for you, but I know that there are certain opportunities right now in your business that you're overlooking. And if we spend a day together working on your business, I know that we'll find different ways to multiply your investment. So what do you say? He didn't even think about it, which shocked me. He's just like, yeah, all right. Dude pays $5,000 to come down, spend one day with me in a room, in a conference room, working on his marketing, on his referrals, on his positioning. So we had a couple goals, and I knew that when he was coming in, and I knew that I could multiply what he was doing. So Jude said yes, and I'm like, all right, it's going to be awesome. So we plan it. Now that's one guy. He said yes. He didn't even think about it. Now let's go to the other fella. This guy's running a business. He's got his ups and downs. He does weddings, wedding entertainment, wedding photo booths, all this kind of everything around the wedding and a party that would be fun. And he tells me about his business. He tells me about ups and downs and all the marketing he's doing. And he, too, wants a podcast. And the more I talk to him, the more I think about it, I tell him, look, podcast is a distraction. A podcast is just going to be another thing. You're just trying to throw something else at the wall to see if it sticks. It's going to be something that sucks your time. And I don't believe that a podcast is going to give you the ROI you're looking for, because he said he wanted his calendar booked out. He wanted to have events booked out way in advance. He wanted his weekends filled with events so that he could lay back and let his team do the work, and he just does the marketing and brings in the cash and brings in steady cash, because he says he has a lot of ups and downs in his business. And we all have that. We have cycles in our business. That's normal. So I tell him, podcast's not really going to work for you, but from what I understand and what you have going on, I do believe there's a better way for you to invest your time, invest your money to get exactly what you're looking for. I do this all the time, done it before in real estate, done it with agents, done it with my own business. I think you should just come down, spend a day with me, and we'll tighten up all your marketing systems, work on the before, during, and after of your business. And I know that once we're done for the day, you're going to have exactly what you need to get this business more stable, to take you up to the next level. And he's like, that was refreshing. That was interesting. I was so expecting for you to talk me into podcasting, and to hear you say, because you're the guy, you're the king of podcasting, to hear you say that I don't need a podcast is so surprising to me. And I really like this idea, but I just don't know. I want to wait. I think next month will be better, or maybe the month after that. And so if I have a better month, then I can come back to you on this, because I told him, yes, I think $5,000 one day, and I'm out there to get this guy a multiplier, and he's procrastinating. he has to think about it. I'm offering to print money for you on your investment, and you have to think about that. There's a problem there. And the problem is not me, okay? Because I know I can do this. I have done this, and I know I can do it for him from talking with him as long as he implements. The problem there is the procrastination, putting it off till later, the if-then logic that he's using. If I make this much money, then I can invest. Well, guess what? You're always going to be stuck in that roller coaster if you don't make a decision now. And procrastination is just another form of laziness. It's another way to stay safe and stay right where you're at. Even though you keep saying, I want more. I want things to be different. Yet you don't make the move to be anything different than you are today. That right there, that indecision, that procrastination, that is what keeps people broke. You will never, ever reach the next level in your business. You will never, ever reach your dreams. You will never, never be anything if you keep putting things off and using that if-then logic. So I want to go back to the first guy because that's the lesson. But I'm going to give you, right now, you're going to get what my man in the landscaping business paid $5,000 for. So you can see how simple it is. And this will work in any business. So you're not paying me $5,000, but you can go out and use these tactics. You can use these ideas. Actually, you know what? I don't want to give all that away because he paid a lot of money for that. So I'm going to give you the one most obvious one. And a lot of you are going to be like, oh man, I knew that already. Oh man, not a big deal. That's nothing new. That's not bright and shiny. Well, good for you, moron. It's not supposed to be bright and shiny. It's not supposed to be anything new. It's supposed to be obvious that you're leaving money on the table if you're not doing this. And this is what I dug up for my landscaper friend. Dug up. This was one of the things because we had three. And here's what happened. That day we had three things. Number one was his messaging. His messaging was off. He didn't know how to speak his client's language. He had it in his head, but he didn't know how to get it out there and get it focused and make it potent. And that was one of the big things I wanted to work on that day was the messaging, because the messaging sets up the positioning and every other piece of marketing that he was going to do. The messaging was one thing we worked on. I'm not going to share that with you because it's none of your business. He paid a lot of money for that. I guess it's not a lot of money. He paid good money for that, okay? He paid good money for what I shared with him and what we dialed into with that. And I actually put it up on Instagram on my story. If you guys aren't following me, I'm Rivera Thin on Instagram. Just look up the Daddy's Working hashtag and you'll find me out there, Rivera Thin. But I put it up. I put up how we got to his messaging, how we got to some beautiful copy, and how we informed all the rest of his marketing. I'm not going to share that with you. He paid a lot for that. He paid a good sum for it, not a lot. He paid a good sum. The other thing was his marketing. He's out there trying to market to cold traffic and build an audience. And I found an obvious thing, and this is something that real estate agents are great at, and we used to train agents to do this all the time. But just a way to use direct mail around your current projects to get word of mouth marketing, to get attention on your project, and to get more people calling in. Not going to share the details there either. What I'm going to share is the obvious, easy one that most of us can do. And he was struggling with this so hard. He was just like, he couldn't figure it out. And I asked him, what's your main source of business? I said, really, we get a lot of referrals. We get a lot of builders who refer us, a lot of new construction. And the builders love us because we always take care of business. We take pride in our work and we do the best job we can. I said, so what's your referral strategy? He says, that's it. You heard me. We do the absolute best work. We guarantee our work and we make sure that it looks great. And I said, that's it? That's your referral strategy? And he starts backtracking. Oh, I can't incentivize people. I've tried that before. It hasn't worked. If given people a free mulch job and things like that, and that's backfired on me so many times. I'm like, you're thinking too freaking hard here. Back up. Hang on. I'm going to give you something right here that you can use that's going to bring in cash, bring in referrals like crazy. You ready? Sit down. Write this down. He's looking at me wide-eyed, thinking he's going to have a big breakthrough. And I tell him, have you ever said thank you? He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. Have you ever said thank you? Have you ever sent a thank you note? Have you ever made a thank you phone call to the folks who are referring you? He's like, no, that's not part of our process. All right, brother. Well, here's what you're going to start doing immediately. And you guys out there listening right now, you should be doing this. And I practice what I preach, baby. So this is not just me making things up. I do this in my real estate business with my residents. I do this in my agency. I do this with my family. It's gratitude. Gratitude. Saying thank you. Okay? So I told them, from now on, your team needs to be asking people when they come in, when they get on the phone with you and they ask you to come out and give an estimate or a quote, you need to ask how they heard about you. And when they give you somebody's name, you need to be sending a handwritten note at the end of the week. Just collect all the information all week long. You can just be asking this question at the end of the week. Send everybody who referred you a piece of business a handwritten note saying thank you. And he doesn't even have to do this. He's got somebody in the office that can do this. It just needs to be part of their intake system. Send a handwritten note that says thank you. And at the end of the week, also, he's got a sales rep, so also have your sales rep give him the list of the people that referred business and tell him to call them. And it's as simple as, hey man, thank you. I spoke to so-and-so. We're going out to talk to them. Just wanted to let you know that we got it and we're working on it and we really appreciate it. So handwritten note and a phone call saying thank you. And he's like, that's it? I'm like, yeah, that's it. So the people know you appreciate them. So the people know that you're making them look good, because when they send somebody to you, they know they're being taken care of. And I told them, you want icing on the cake? You want the real game clincher? You or your sales rep, maybe once a month or so, call these people that have referred you business and ask them out to lunch. Hey man, I'm going to be in your area, take you out to lunch. And it's not about business. It's just about making a personal connection. You go to lunch, you talk, you learn about people, and you build a friendship. That right there is where referrals are going to come from. All right? And so look at this. The two guys. One guy put things off, procrastinates, says if, then, and stays broke. The other guy, he doesn't even think about it. He says, yes, I'm ready to invest, comes down, and I give him several different ways. And here is my prediction. And I've told him about this too. In the next year, the guy that said yes, the landscape the guy that came down and spent the day with me, he's going to make a 10x return on his investment. And I do believe that he can just do that with the referral system, since that's such a big chunk of his business. But then you add the marketing system that we put in and the messaging system, 10x ROI. The guy said yes, even though he wasn't sure. He came down and we built something for him. The other guy, he's going to stay broke. And I even gave you that referral system. Say thank you. Give people a call and thank them for referrals. Send them a handwritten note. And take them out to lunch once in a while, and you'll get more and more referrals. Man, I've given away way too much value in this episode. But this is something that's been on my mind. This is something fresh in my head that people just overlook huge opportunities, and that's what keeps them broke. And now you know better. Go out, make money with these ideas, and when you make all that money, you can come back to me and invest in working with me. That's right. Daddy's working, baby. Giving it away today. So, if you like this, if you hate it, tell me. Leave a review. Go to iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Daddy's Working. Leave a review. Tell me what you love. Tell me what you hate. I don't care. Want to know you were out there and paying attention. That's it for this one. I'll be back all up in your earbuds next time. Daddy's out.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.